Hello guys, welcome to Haymanager, and today I've got a bit of a different video. So, we're going to be discussing whether or not a certain player has been snuffed by England, and this certain player is Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, I'll get his stats up on the screen for you now. He had a very good season for Manchester United. He's played 27 matches so far in the Premier League. He's got 2 assists, which is joint 71st, but 2 assists is still decent in the Premier League. I think in and around the fullbacks, he's ranked in that sort of top quadrant of the fullbacks. And then tackles, 86 tackles, which sits him second in the league. Tackles is probably what he's most famous for. The only person above him is Pierre Højbjerg, who plays in that central midfielder position. So a lot of the modern day football gets played in the midfield of the park. So you're going to see a lot more central midfielders tackling other opposition. So it's going to be, it makes a bit more sense for another player that's a central midfielder or a central defensive midfielder who sort of engages first to, in essence, get more tackles than Wan-Bissaka. But still, let's not take away from the fact that this guy is averaging a near enough 3 tackles per game. Then we go into blocks, 97 blocks for Wan-Bissaka. First in there, you could probably put this down to his lack of positional awareness. I'd probably put that down to this, but 97 blocks proves that the man's doing something special. He's doing something, he's a very, very competent defender. In 97 blocks, 86 tackles, and then we go into interceptions where he sits 10th, 43 interceptions. The guy's a very good defensive right back. Contribution going forward may lack, but the defensive side and where you want to see someone really perform defensively, this man's your man. I can't believe that England haven't even considered getting him in for these sort of World Cup qualifiers, seeing what the man's like. Reece James, for example, I reckon it was probably quite close between Reece James and Wan-Bissaka, because Reece James of recent hasn't really played that many games, but Wan-Bissaka's played a few games of late. They've kept a lot of clean sheets, Manchester United. I can't understand why Wan-Bissaka hasn't been picked and has been snuffed for the England side. We'll then go on to compare the other rivals for this English right back position. These are all the stats from 2020-2021 season, so the domestic cups, domestic Premier League and the international Europa Leagues and Champions Leagues. So matches played, 42. Wan-Bissaka has played the most games this season out of all these players. We then look at Alexander-Arnold, Reece James and Kyle Walker, how they're contributing going forward. Reece James and Alexander-Arnold giving a lot more creatively going forward, whereas Walker only the 1 assist. You can see why with Kyle Walker, because purely he's going to be sitting in that right back position, not really moving, coming inside to sit in the central defensive midfielder position, playing that Pep Guardiola style of football that they're playing right now. Then we go into tackles per 90, and this is an interesting one. So Wan-Bissaka averages around about 3 tackles a game, which in the modern day game, you won't really say it's a big stat, but it's a very big stat. For how efficient this man is at tackling and how great he is at taking on people who are dribbling at him, it's phenomenal. Comparing it to Alexander-Arnold, 1.7 tackles a game, the man gets beat on a regular basis. It's a worrying stat for Alexander-Arnold, more so than Wan-Bissaka. And then we look at Reece James, 2.5 tackles a game, still a fantastic defender. And then Kyle Walker, 2 tackles a game, probably not having to make as many, but still not making as many as Wan-Bissaka per game. That's his real strength, Wan-Bissaka, I think. The tackles, how he manages to get in from behind. He gives players a few yards of space to get ahead of him, and then he just comes in with this slide tackle which takes them out and goes out for a throw-in. I think he's one of the best in the game at the moment. Successful dribble percentage, so this is how good and efficient a player is coming forward down this flank. 66% for Wan-Bissaka. It's not his strength. It's not his strength, let's put it that way. It's not his strength going forward, but as you can see, it's a lot better than Alexander-Arnold. 55% for Alexander-Arnold, which is not fantastic at all. We then see Reece James absolutely blowing everyone outside of the park. 79.45%. I think he had 44 attempted dribbles forward, and then you see how efficient he is. It's around about 32 out of the 44 that he's managed to actually contribute to an attack. Then we see Kyle Walker with 67%, still about as efficient as Wan-Bissaka, but he is very much better going forward to Kyle Walker. Got the experience behind him, he's 30 years of age now, whereas Wan-Bissaka is obviously a lot younger. Then we see SCA, which is shot creating actions per 90, so these are, for example, your crosses, your passes, your fouls leading to a shot, or contribution towards a shot. Wan-Bissaka sitting at 1.35, as I said, it's not his strength really going forward, which is probably why he's been snubbed for this England side, as they like to play a bit more creative right backs or left backs, full backs. 2.88 for Alexander-Arnold, which shows he's allowed a lot more creative freedom going forward. He does like to cross the balls in a lot more often. He has, well, it's his game really, crossing, isn't it? And Reece James, 2.69. You've got to give credit to Reece James here. Reece James is really going under the radar of how great a fullback he is. But I think because of the lack of games he's played, and he is quite young still, I think that's why he's probably not as raved about yet, but he's going to be a sensation. Glenn Hoddle rates him very highly as well. And then Kyle Walker, 1.19, which is even less than Wan-Bissaka, showing he's probably more of a defensive right back than a creative one. To conclude, I'd probably say Wan-Bissaka deserves a call-up for England. I wouldn't say he doesn't deserve one. I think he has to be up there with the top 2 or 3. We have taken Reece James and Kyle Walker for the World Cup qualifiers, which I think on current form, you could probably argue Kyle Walker in there for sure, but Wan-Bissaka has to be in there. The clean sheets he's been keeping lately, the form he's been in. Reece James, I think he's been playing well. He's come off the bench a few times, replaced Callum Hudson-Odoi in that right wing back role. Whether or not Gareth Southgate was thinking about having a 5 at the back with Reece James and then changing his tactics to a different style with Kyle Walker where he could play 4 at the back, might be what he was thinking. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka deserves a call up to the England squad regardless, after what a fantastic, efficient defensive season he's had, and he can still contribute going forward, as shown compared to Kyle Walker. I'd love to know what you think down below in the comments. Let me know what you think, whether or not he should be called up. I think personally, and this is no Manchester United bias, Wan-Bissaka is one of the best tackling right backs in the world at the moment. He's done it against PSG. He's had fantastic games. He obviously, like everyone, has a poor game every once in a while, but he's one of the best young talents in the league at the moment, and I think he's going to go all the way and stay at United his whole career and become one of the best right backs in the game. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying your day. It's a very sunny day outside of Manchester. Enjoy your days as well, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Ciao.